Entrepreneurs are the risk takers of the business world. They're trend spotters, analyzing the market for gaps and finding the products or services they think will fill them. When they get it right, the rewards can be enormous. But when they get it wrong, so too can the losses. Times might be tougher, but Mohammed Al-Madani is still preparing to open new branches of his franchises, Charlie's Grilled Subs and Levi's Jeans. Mohammed is the classic entrepreneur. He transformed the family tailoring business from a single store into a multi-million dirham empire that includes foreign food franchises and clothing brands. Today, the Al-Madani Group represents brands like Levi's, Naf and Hang Ten, and makes 60% of the city's kandoras. That's why we call Mohammed Al-Madani the man who dresses Dubai.
My father started it more than 60 years ago with a simple tailoring shop at the Ras area, and then he grew up with the growth of Dubai in the early 60s when Dubai's land started to have value and the real estate started growing. And later on, after I graduated from the States, I came back, I expanded the family business into retail, food and beverage, and that's where you see now Al-Madani Group grown from simple tailoring shop to as much as plus 100 stores all over the GCC countries.
And how many people do you employ in those 100 stores?
450 people.
The story of the entrepreneur is also the story of Dubai. This city has had a long history as a trading center, and the souks along the creek have always been stocked with goods from all over the world. Muna Al-Gurg comes from one of Dubai's most prominent trading families, who now employ over 4,000 people.
The very first Al-Gurg shop was actually started in 1960, just across the creek. And we sold Grundig radios, Grundig being a very good German brand.
And when did that first jump come, being a small shop owner to really becoming a big businessman?
I think there was a natural progression. As Dubai grew and as it prospered, the group started to look into nascent industries at the time, such as steel, paint, Dubai electricity, and then the formation of Dubai Airport. With the presence of oil, people started to look into, business partners.
And what qualities do you think your father had that made him a good entrepreneur?
My father always grabbed the opportunity when there was one. So he'd identify an opportunity, work on the business model, work ethically, build a long-term relationship with his partners, and take that forward.
Do you think he has any kind of special drive that really pushes him forward, that keeps him going at it, keeps him working even to this day?
I believe that the creator of every business is very passionate about what he's created. He has a vision in his mind, and this is what he had.
Many of the big families who helped build Dubai owned shops along Naif Road in Dera. At the time, it was the city's main shopping street. It was also where National Tailors, Mohammed's father's store, was located. Mohammed's father, Abdurrahman Al-Madani, is 81 years old and he still comes to work every day.
كنا هنا الراس الناس كل يشوفونا هذا مشي مركض ساير عبرة كل واحد ينزل العبرة وهنا محلات.
شو كان مميز عن الخياط الوطني؟
أحسن خياط أنا خياطه خياط إنسانية مو خياط خياط عدل.
As Mohammed grew up, he knew his father wanted him to be a professional, a doctor maybe, or an engineer.
ليش ما بغيت ولدك يستوي خياط مثلك؟
لا خياط مو بشغل خياط.
لكن أنت ما شاء الله خياط، كيف مو بشغل؟
إحنا تعبنا ما درسنا. عشان درسنا
يوم يجلسن عند الماكينة على الماكينة يقول لي نش لا ما بك تستوي خياط، لأنه يقول إحنا ما درسنا استوينا خياط، لأن هذه الأيام يا تصير الغوص يا تصيد سمك أو تشتغل تعلم لك حرفة يعني يا نجار يا مثلا يا خياط. فهو طبعا عمه كان خياط فعلم الخياطة.
You became an engineer, was it because at the same time Dubai discovered oil?
Of course, I mean UAE was an oil country and Also, Dubai started producing oil. Also, I said the best choice is to become a petroleum engineer to help my country produce oil and make money.
Well, it seems like it was a good choice.
Yes, it was the right one. I think I was very glad that I chose to be a petroleum engineer.
Mohammed's decision to become an engineer allowed him to move from the family home in Naif. It's since been demolished, but he took me to where it used to stand.
Our house was like built from palm tree, hut, and very primitive, and this is where I was born.
Is there any place you used to play around here?
Hide and seek everywhere here, the galleys, and we used to run after each other and scream, and it was so quiet because you could scream anyone's in any galley here, not like now.
And do you think you could have been as successful as you are anywhere else in the world?
I don't think so, because Dubai, I grew up with the growth of Dubai. It's in the early 60s when Dubai and oil was discovered, and the country started progressing and becomes a commercial hub.
Coming up, we join Mohammed as he explains how he turned his family business into something much larger, and we'll meet Dubai's newest entrepreneurs. Later, we'll meet Dubai's up-and-coming entrepreneurs. But first, we find out what Mohammed Al-Madani did when he came back from university.
This was my first shop that I started right after graduation. Came back from the States in 1979. I had my uncle, actually, he's the one who inspired me.
Your uncle pushed you to open the shop?
Yeah, I said, do business. This is, you come from the family who've been doing business. Your father is a tailor. I used to go myself to the wholesale market in Deir side, and I used to buy. I used to do the selection, and whatever I used to select, I used to sell. Fashion was in my blood.
But what about the business? I mean, okay, you knew fashion, but this was the very first time you opened a business, and you were working full-time as well. Did you find it challenging?
It was. We were enjoying at that time 6 days a week of work, and from 7 to 1:30, so we were off the whole evening. So I used to come and support my business here. And during the day, sometimes I'll take the time off from my work, and I used to get help from my uncle's PRO. Wait a minute. I remembered something.
What Mohammed had just remembered is that we were in the wrong shop.
You know what? 30 years is a long time. This actually was my first shop.
This was your first shop?
Opposite the parking, because I used to park my car in the parking place. And here used to be Al-Shafi Corner. I named it after my grandfather, Al-Shafi.
So this was your
Shafi.
real first shop?
This was the real one. I'm sorry, it was a long
okay.
time to remember.
It's okay.
More than 30 years.
In 1992, the Burjuman Center opened. Mohammed told his father it would be a good place for a new branch of the National Tailors.
First of all, it was not easy to convince father that let's go into a modern shopping mall, because he knows that the rent is going to be much higher. So he was saying that we're not going to succeed. The tailoring shop is more fit to be on the street where the customers know where we are. And I did it very professionally by hiring a designer. So we started to design the fit out, and for the first time we had a computer in the tailoring shop. Everybody was surprised. Oh, are you going to do the cutting and tailoring with the computer? I said, no, we're going to have your database, all your measurements is going to be there. Yes, we didn't make money in the tailoring business, but actually it paved the way to all the tailors to start thinking that yes, tailoring can work in a shopping mall.
As the 90s passed, Mohammed realized that the future was in franchising, not in wholesaling. He bid for the Levi's franchise. He didn't know it yet, but his days in petroleum were coming to an end.
Well, I was waiting for their call, and that was in August 2000. When I received that call, they said, congratulations, Al-Madani, you were selected Al-Madani Group for Levi's. I said, wow, it was a big excitement, and that was the real break. Now it's time to quit my job, and I fully be taking care of the family business.
Taking care of the multi-billion dirham family business is what Muna Al-Gurg does now. She was born into privilege. But when she had begun working, her father insisted she start at the bottom and work her way up.
I think it's always been part of his philosophy that because he started right at the bottom, he believed that family members must learn about the ins and outs of the business.
Did you always want to join the family business?
I think subliminally it was always there at the back of my mind, because as I was very young, I used to hear about the business all the time. And when I went to college, I did study business, so it was a natural progression.
Progression can be a problem in any family business, and Muna knows this well.
There is a theory that says that in a family business, the first generation is the creator of the business, the second generation is the carer of the business, and the third generation is the cremator of the business. Now, that is fortunately something that does not apply to us in terms of the third generation. The chairman, who is my father, has always maintained a philosophy that before joining the business, family members must always gain experience outside the group.
Being a successful entrepreneur isn't about just an eye for opportunity. It takes managerial skill and a willingness to go that extra mile to make sure your business not only grows, it thrives. And part of going that extra mile is employing people to check up. Enter mystery shopper Omar. Well, for my first time as a mystery shopper, I think I was pretty obnoxious, but they did very, very well. I'll have to give Mohammed a good review. Running a business is also about finding out what's working and what's not.
So these are the plan that we do by learning from our experience. They say past shapes future. So we look at those mistakes and we're trying to learn from it and avoid all those mistakes and start do things innovative.
Can you give me an example?
I remember something very clearly from Hangten. Actually, in Hangten, a couple of years ago, because we had a master franchisee for Hangten, we have the right to manufacture. So what we did, we went and took some of these jeans and we wanted to outsource it ourselves so it becomes cheaper. So we went and we tried in different manufacturers outside, it was in Bangladesh actually, but it was a complete failure because you have to actually study it very well. You have to have a designer team, you have a research team. After washing, it shrunk and people could not wear it. So we decided that, okay, we leave this to the specialists.
So being an entrepreneur means discovering what you're good at. The Emirates Academy of Hospitality Management, run by the Jumeirah Group, works to teach its students this entrepreneurial skill.
We have to come up with a restaurant concept and develop it from scratch. So we come up with the idea of what kind of restaurant we'll have, what kind of cuisine we'll serve. We have to market the project and find sponsors to help us create our concept.
Okay, so how can I become an entrepreneur?
Well, you can become an entrepreneur by helping us out in the restaurant today. So we're going to get you changed. And
okay.
Then you're going to be...
Why do I need to change?
Because you're going to be a waiter.
Wonderful. Could I do this reversed, or am I allowed to spear them?
That's cheating.
Here we have the kitchen.
Okay.
Just shout out bread for 4.
What if they want, let's say, if they give me 2 whites and 2...
No. You just shout bread for 4. You have to communicate with your other colleagues, so we don't sell too many of the tartatins.
Say that again.
Tartatin.
Tarta.
And if you're really working in a restaurant, your hair would be too long and you'd need to shave.
Can I take your order? All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry, excuse me. Order table 5.
Yes, chef.
There's a man in control. This restaurant is gonna be a success. Coming up, we follow Al-Madani in the final days before the opening of his new franchises, glimpse what the future might hold, and we learn how one woman is making a trade out of tradition. Later, we'll catch up with Al-Madani as he prepares to open his newest franchises, and we'll ask the experts about the future. But first, we're meeting the woman who gave a traditional art a modern twist and created a thriving business in the process. 8 years ago, Fathiya Uthman decided she was going to start her own business. She wanted to open a boutique where people could get henna tattoos. But Fathiya had one big problem. She had no background in business.
The idea coming when His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid started to coming in the newspaper to say there is Mohammed bin Rashid for young business leader. You bring the ideas and he will support you. At that moment, I'm looking to do something. You can imagine I'm roaming 2 months to get the idea to make the henna, to get something from the henna.
Why did you think people would really like henna, they'd really enjoy?
Because they don't know about it.
It's something new?
Something new. It's something old, but it's new. With my idea, it's new.
So how were you able to open that very first shop?
Actually, it's not easy to tell this idea to every hotel. And I'll try with the management for Jumeirah Beach at that time, which is belonging to Jumeirah Beach Group, Jumeirah Group. And they support me a lot. In the first day, in the first moment actually, people come in and they decorate themselves.
How many people did you get coming in every day?
Every day it's between 50 to 60.
So business was good straight from the beginning?
Yes, that pushed us to starting franchise, to go international.
Fathiya Uthman was inspired by henna. Mohammed comes back to his roots for his inspiration. His old house may be gone, but the memory remains.
Of course, just my childhood memories here. I'm inspired by that social life we had. It was that strong neighborhood. You could hear what was going on in the next house, and we used to see each other. We used to, play with each other. I mean, that's my childhood inspired. Of course, I was inspired by my sweet shop, by the ice cream shop, all that I was looking up that I should own one day, and instead of going and taking money from dad.
And what shop did you want to own the most?
Ice cream shop.
Ice cream shop? Why ice cream?
Sweets, it's at that time in Dubai, with the hot weather, we didn't have yet AC, we didn't have electricity, so ice cream was a big thing, so going to the ice cream shop almost every day.
But you don't own an ice cream shop yet?
No, I was quite close, but it didn't work out. But I'm still thinking of an ice cream shop from that childhood time.
Now, how much has this neighborhood changed in the last 40 years?
A lot. The only thing which I can recall is at my aunt's house and that building, that small building there. So those are the two things which is still there from 40 years ago.
So this is where you used to play?
Exactly. It's all sands here, and we used to play marble with our neighbors. And
so it was just sand over there, no buildings?
No, sand track here. There was no buildings, of course. We had a balcony in my auntie's house, and we used to count how many cars will come from this side. I would say, okay, the cars coming this side is mine, the cars coming that side is yours. And
how many would come in one day?
It was a sand track here, of course. Only Jeeps and Land Rover used to drive here. Handful.
Do you miss the way it used to be?
Very much. That social life, that childhood, of course, is something you can never forget.
For Mohammed, visiting his old neighborhood is one way to measure how much his life, and for that matter, life in Dubai, has changed over the last 40 years. But what of the coming years? Where do today's entrepreneurs think Dubai will be in the future?
The future, inshallah, this is, we're working very hardly actually to improve ourselves international.
I see that family businesses, and specifically, again, our group, will adapt to market trends in the future. We are very strong, with 4,000 employees and 23 companies. I think it shouldn't be much of a challenge to kind of adapt and grow.
Past shape its future. Dubai has a track record of how the growth can be sustained here in Dubai, and I see a big future in Dubai with the support that we have from the government in getting all your businesses set up here, and I see a big future for Dubai entrepreneur.
Mohammed firmly believes that there is no better time to be an entrepreneur in Dubai. He's been proven right in the past, and today he's opening new branches of Levi's Jeans and Charlie's Grilled Subs at Dubai's newest mega mall, Mirdif City Center.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you here in our another occasion. It's 15th branch of Levi's store in Mirdif City Center. As you have all seen, from the time we have grown, our Madani group established by our father, Sheikh Abdul Rahman Shafi al-Madani. Without him, we won't be here.
What about Charlie's? Charlie's next?
Charlie's, yeah, there's going to be more food. So, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. In our 8th Charlie's branch restaurant in UAE and 3 in Saudi Arabia. Mayonnaise? You want mayonnaise, Muhammad? Low fat. Yeah.
A trading city like Dubai depends on its entrepreneurs. As long as they keep creating new opportunities, then Dubai's future is assured. And with people like Mohammed al-Madani, that future looks rosy indeed. You can now watch Emirati online. Just log on to Dubai1.ae.